Hello everyone! Before we get started, I would just like to thank you all for the 10 subscribers. It really makes my day seeing that there are so many people enjoying watching my content here on YouTube, and I will continue doing my best. As of the video, you might find that my sound is proportionally worse than it is now, and that is because I hadn't improved my setup yet, so I hope you can bear with that. Also, everything that I say in this video is based mostly on my opinion, so someone might disagree with the rating I gave, and if that's the case, I'm sorry. Anyways, enjoy the video.
Then let us get started.
Yes.
Are you ready?
No.
Alright, so I think this is a good start. Just something to look at.
Flying Viper.
Yes.
3 mana, 2
Mere devotion.
mere devotions, 1 strength, 3 sense. It's flying and lethal.
Yes, and you
Okay,
might understand what flying is, but lethal is that so you instantly kill like poisonous in Hearthstone and or death touch in Magic.
Does lethal also work? Okay, so it only works on creatures, I'm assuming, right?
Yes, you don't win instantly by hitting the opponent with it.
Okay, so flying, it's like basically you can basically just jump over the fence, assuming.
Yes. Most creatures can't block them. They either have to be flying
Except for other
or
flying, I'm
alert.
assuming.
Alert is an exception.
I mean,
But yes.
I think the only thing that is bothering me is like the devotion that you need 2 and 3. That's like the only, I guess, thing that makes me think that this might not be the best. Yeah, I think I'm gonna say this is like I think it's a 3 out of 5. Like it's okay, like it works, but it's not the best.
Yeah, I would say it like 3, 2, around that point. It's I think the only creature that is lethal and has more than 1 health. But many creatures just deal more than 3 damage often when you want to kill them, so it's not that worth it. And creatures that are flying often don't have much more than 1 health.
Yeah.
So it
And also, like if you have 2 devotion and 3 mana, I feel like at that point the opponent probably has stuff that does at least 3 damage just normally on the board.
Exactly. Not bad, not a bad guess. I will show you another card then. This one.
I've got Rust Ring Champion. Okay, 3 mana, 2 devotion, 1 3. Okay. Whenever Rust Ring Champion deals damage in combat, it deals an additional 4 damage.
Yes.
So whenever it attacks, instead of being 1, it's actually 5.
Yes.
I'm assuming that doesn't work when it's defending.
Damage in combat. I think it still works.
Yeah. Okay. So then it is technically a 5/3, but instead it's a 1/3.
Yes.
I mean, I could see this potentially be pretty good because I don't know. I guess you can technically make the opponent get surprised when they hit the card, and apparently, oh, it does actually more damage. It's like a twist to it. I mean, doing 5 damage just off the bat is pretty good. Definitely also very good for I would say at the point where it's 3 2 devotions. So I would say maybe a 4. I'd say 4. It's pretty good.
Alright, so I would say that's actually a 2 because of one reason. It only says in combat. So if the opponent just ignores blocking it, 1 damage to face is not that much in the long run.
Yeah, no, I forgot about that.
So otherwise it's pretty solid when you're in combat, but when you play Kangir at least you want to go aggressive, hit hard, and when you just have a creature that is 1 damage, that's not that big.
No.
It's really tempting at first, but you learn fast that it's...
that looks good, but when you play enough of it, it's like, okay, maybe not as...
oh, here's a new card!
Okay, Spitting Nacre. Yeah, I've seen this one before. It costs 2, it 1 devotion, 2, 2. When Spitting Nacre is summoned, deal 1 damage to a hostile creature or player.
Yes.
I would say, I played a little bit of... What's the devotion called again?
Arcus?
Arcus, yeah.
Depends on how you pronounce it.
Yeah, I would say that it costs only 2, you have 1 devotion, it's usually not that hard to get that out relatively quickly, in 2 turns. Probably put this out almost immediately, and I would say just in general, just getting stuff that summons and then just deal damage or something is, I would say, good generally, and you can also just hit it on the player. So I would say this is like a 4.
Yeah, it's probably a 5. It's like one of the best 2-drops you can have in the game right now.
I will say the reason why it's good, I would say it's good because it's very cheap. That's probably why.
Many aggressive cards against Arches, or Arches, I don't know how to pronounce it, has 1 health. Specifically Kangir, that I can already show this card that has 1 health.
Honored Gahal.
Exactly.
A 3/1 devotion, 3/1, and adept. What does adept mean?
That means that when you enter combat with a creature, if you say that the Spitting Nakri is attacking and you defend with Honor Gahal, then Honor Gahal will attack first, dealing 8 damage to the creature, and if that creature would die, then it dies. Meaning the Spitting Nakri didn't even touch the Honor Gahal. So, as long as that creature has 3 or less in health when the Honor Gahal attacks or defends, that creature will die instantly without Honor Gahal dying.
That is, it's the cost 3 is, I mean, you can basically put this out on turn 3, which is like, I mean, the problem with this is that it's 1 health, it's relatively aggressive, but I feel like, it just does have a little health, and there are specific cards that can benefit against it. If the opponent doesn't have those cards at the time, this is a very strong card, so I would probably say it's like a 3.5.
I would say it like at least 4 higher.
Okay, it's really good.
Kangir can often increase attack by some means, like increasing 2 attack. Now it has 5. I think and like 1% of the cards has 5 or more in health. It's a total menace on the board, even if it dies after 2 turns. It still has done much aggressive play, really hard to counter, really solid. Probably the best 3-drop right now in the game.
Okay. And I can definitely, I can understand that.
Yeah. Alright, I think this one.
Shroud. Suspend, okay. Players don't take damage this turn.
Yes.
2 cost devotion. Okay. I mean, it's players, so technically you're not, okay, so it's not just your beneficial, it's beneficial for both you and the opponent.
Yes.
You can play this on turn 2, and you can have that saved at any time.
Yes.
I mean, that turn. Oh yeah, because it's not exactly turn-based this game. It's basically you have turns, but it's happening at the same time. So
yes.
Yeah, that's something I'm gonna have to get used to. It's just, because there is turn-based, but it's not turn-based as in one player goes and the other player goes.
It's more semi-turn-based.
Yeah. I mean, I would say that this is. I think I would say this is like actually a really good card. It might protect the opponent that turn, yeah, but like if you need to, you can use that to save yourself from dying and then prepare for more, so you can actually protect yourself. So I would say this is like I would say 4.5. I would say this is really good.
Yeah, it is really good. Right now, Envale has much better cards later on, and other devotions, especially Arches. You want to stall to get to that point, and this card helps you so much with that. And you can spam this because it exits a card, rebound, that gets this card back up the hand, and you can still play it because 2 cost. Super easy to play at any time. Extremely good.
Very good. I guess correctly. Let's go.
Yes.
Cool.
Alright. Let us see this card.
Stampeding wild boars. Wild boars. There's multiple. Oh my god, it's a 7 mana 8/9, no devotion, okay. And relentless. What does relentless mean?
So when you attack and the opponent block with a creature, we say it's 1/1 for this case. When you block this, 7 damage will be wasted, right?
Yeah.
That damage now penetrates into the opponent. So if it was depending on the health that you block with, the excess damage that was dealt continues into the opponent.
I see. Yeah, I mean, it seems as a good card, but like, I feel like it's just the mana cost making me like it costs 7, so you would have to at least wait until turn 7 to do that. I feel like at that point the opponent either has enough defense to protect something that is as strong as this, or have stuff that is enough to actually stop this from just doing damage.
Yeah.
So I feel like this is I would say I've said a 1. I'm gonna say a 1.
Yeah, correct. It's too expensive. Even if it's tempting, you don't need that much health on a creature, and
It's so far in late game that I feel like at that point it's
Yeah.
not really that useful to get that kind of damage or
if
that
this
kind
is
of
your strategy, then I think you're already dead at that point.
just
It is cool, but it doesn't do what it needs to do. It's too slow. You have to wait a turn before you can attack with it. It's
yes,
just
you have
too
to wait
expensive.
to turn 8 before you can actually use this minimum. Which is no, that's bad.
Yeah. So yeah, I would say a 1. I have never ever seen a player use this.
Alright.
I think this is an interesting one.
Renegade Priest. Okay, Renegade Priest. Cost 2 mana, okay, it's a 1/1. Activate. Pay 1, lose 1 devotion, and gain 1 devotion of a different faction.
Yes.
Okay.
Pay 1
so-
is mana.
Yeah, but it's basically you play with 2 mana, then you can use 1 mana to do a specific thing.
Yes.
I feel like if the only reason you would want this is if you don't want to get cards from other factions, like your deck. It's like oh, I want a specific card, but it has so many factions that I don't want to add a bunch of different cards, so I can get that kind of devotions.
Yeah.
So I guess I could see this as kind of useful, but like I feel. I mean, it is cheap. I will say it's cheap, and I feel like it's used only to basically get different kinds of devotion. It's not used like defend or attack really. So like it's like maybe a 3.
As I would say right now, it's probably a 1.
It's a 1. Oh
Yes. It's only used in one deck, and that's Lithomancer, where you need
Oh.
many devotions to use it.
Oh yeah.
There exists no 3 devotion decks yet, because it doesn't work well using 3 different devotions. You can't often play them cards because you have too little of that devotion, too little of that devotion, those kind of stuff. 2 devotions is like right now the breaking point.
Yeah.
But later on, when more cards that are split devotions probably will be better. But right now, don't need it.
Okay.
And on the case of Lithomancer, here's Lithomancer.
Lithomancer.
Yes.
It's always a unique.
Yes, that means you can only have 1 on the board at the same time.
Okay. So but you can have multiple copies of it, but you can't have it multiple
Yeah,
of them on
you
board.
can have
Okay.
the full copies in your deck. You just as long as 1 is on the board. You can only have 1 on the board.
Okay, Lithomancer, and it costs 12.
Yes.
It's a 4/5. Activate. Exhaust. Sacrifice 1 sapphire, ruby, emerald, amethyst, and if you
Citrin.
win the game. I would
Yes.
assume it says that. But I'm assuming sapphire, ruby, and emerald is basically the
Yes,
same.
they're exactly the same. I have only had the picture of the sapphire, as that is in the description of the card.
Okay. Exhaust. Gain 1 mana.
Yes, so you can at each turn you can press on them and gain an extra mana.
Okay. I mean, okay, so this is a very much kind of like an OTK deck, but like cost 12 mana. I mean, if you have all of the 5/1s out, that would mean you could pretty much get them out because like you can't like Sapphire and so like artifacts. They can. I'm assuming they can root, right? But like,
Yeah.
but you can't just normally just hit them with creatures. So you get specific stuff that removes
Yes.
them. So I mean, I would say like it's maybe it's like a 2 out of 5. I feel like this is like a card that is more like if you want to have like make a fun deck, but it's not really good competitive wise.
Yeah, exactly that point. It's a meme deck. It's at
Yeah.
2 at most. If you're at the highest point of game, then this is too slow. The consisting of finding all these 5 cards and then playing Lithomancer without dying, it's like a thing. There exists a thing that we play a Lithomancer deck against a Lithomancer deck, and the best Lithomancer deck wins, but there is no real Lithomancer deck out there.
Yeah, because like I feel like the only way for this to like as fast as possible, you have to get to turn 7, and at turn 7 you have to have all of the 5 different artifacts.
Yeah,
Exhaust them, play Lithomancer, activate, and then win.
yeah. Plus, if you haven't seen, the Sapphire costs 2 of Envali's devotion, hence all the others cost 2 of their devotions. Why you need
So you have to use-
Renegade Priest and that costs mana to pay, so you need to work with the mana and the devotion at the same time without losing the game in the process.
Yeah,
Too
because
expensive.
it doesn't seem like you can't really protect you that much, because that will waste mana, which means you can't get closer to actually winning the game.
Yes, exactly.
So it's very much like the only way this will actually kind of work competitively is if you fight the exact same deck.
Yeah, and that's why we only have Lithomancer against Lithomancer games.
Yeah.
Alright. We have discard.
Guard. Just guard, nothing else,
Yes.
just guard. 2 mana, 1 devotion, 1/3. And it's alert, which meant that it can see flying creatures as well, right?
Yeah, it can block flying creatures. Plus, when it is exhausted, it gets still block.
Okay.
So the turn you play this, it can already block.
Okay. I mean, I will say this is like pretty good for control deck, so I will say this is like at least like 3.5 or 4. It's pretty good.
Yeah, for a 2-cost drop, it's at least a 4. It's
Yeah.
super cheap. Just can block, and in general, flying creatures it can block even when it's just enters the board. And most flying creatures, as I said, has only 1 health. So just blocking them is enough.
Hell!
Yeah. So yeah, a 4, maybe 5, but at least 4.
Okay.
Hello again, and thank y'all who have stayed until the end of the video. I really do appreciate it, as this was my first actual edited video and it took a really long time to do. But don't leave yet. I have a really important thing to show you. These. Oleg was really kind to actually send me these 2 pictures on the next big update that will come, for us in the community to speculate about. As a little disclaimer, that Oleg sent alongside these 2 pictures was that they are not the final product and are prone to change in some way or form. But besides that, this will probably be part of the coming update. So, I have decided to make a dedicated video where I speculate about all the information we have been given thus far from the next update. So stay tuned for that. And thank y'all once again for the 10 subscribers. I really do appreciate it. And I hope I will see you in the next one. Bye bye!